Hey, so I did a podcast as well as a blog post talking about how basically reclaiming your needs. How when you're in a narcissistic or toxic household, your basic human needs will not be met. And that there's different ways that this can show up when you are an adult. One of the many needs that are not met in a narcissistic household is your need to make mistakes without being shamed. A lot of narcissistic households will make you feel like when you make a mistake, like it's the end of the world. Basically, they're teaching you that you have to be perfect and that you're not allowed to make mistakes. But at the end of the day, mistakes are a learning experience. That's how we learn and we grow. You don't expect a child to be born and automatically just know everything. What the hell would they need their parent for? So, healthy families teach their children that mistakes are learning opportunities and areas for growth. The narcissistic households, they will make you think that it is the end of the world. Heaven forbid you make a mistake. I even heard a story once of somebody that punished their child for spilling a drink. So what does that teach that? So that child learns that, hey, I'm not okay to make mistakes. I can't spill a drink. That's not okay. We need more parents to sit there and question, what message is this conveying to my child? Especially if you take that as a punishment opportunity, what message is that telling your child? So you're telling your child that they're not okay to make mistakes. People make mistakes every day, including those very parents. I'm sure that parent sure as hell spilled something on the floor at one point in time. But then you're teaching a 13-year-old that no, you can't do that. That's not okay. Okay. I don't know what planet y'all are on, but that's not okay. That's never okay. But in your adult life, if this need is still unmet by yourself, you will have that brutal inner critic. But let me tell you that inner critic is not you. It's your parent's voice, internalized as yourself. You don't need your parent anymore to be your, quote, enemy. You become your parent. And you have to learn to not internalize that voice and not internalize those feelings and that way of thinking and that way of treating yourself, because that's not okay. And your parents are the first teachers of your own self-worth. How many people have you seen that have a parent that's either absent or treats them horribly, and then they have issues down the line where they somehow through various ways they try to get that love and affection that they never got, and in the end, unfortunately, it's never going to work, because you have to learn to give it to yourself. Even if that parent never gave you what you truly needed, then you need to learn to give it to yourself. And it sucks how you have to grow up so quick in a narcissistic household, because really you're not allowed to even be a child. You're not even allowed to be a fucking human. Excuse the language, but you're not even allowed to be a human, because if you have somebody that constantly is criticizing you, oh my gosh, they're treating you like you should be a robot. Then why do they have you? They're basically taking everything out on you. And then also they don't really accept accountability. When you make them accountable for their own actions, oh, they don't like that. Heaven forbid, we hold the child accountable, but we not hold the parent accountable. And I'm so sick of people like, well, they're your parents. Why don't you talk to them anymore? Probably because those parents treated that person really shitty. So don't expect me to be around, or don't expect children who have been mistreated to stay around when they become an adult. And I fully support that, and I applaud every single child who cuts their parent off because they treat them horribly. I fully support that. Even my kids, if you don't like the way that I treat you, please, I fully support that, because at the end of the day, I want them to be happy. I want them to be their own individual self. I don't need to fit them into a box. It's not about fitting this kid into a box, because if it is, it's about control. Control is abuse, guys. Any type of control is abuse. Let people be. Let them be. Let your kids grow up and be themselves. And that's another lesson is too as well. When you're in a narcissistic household, that person does not even let you be your own individual self, because your own self and, developing your own emotions, having your own feelings, becoming your own person is a threat to the family unit. Why would that be a threat? That's horrible that it's a threat, but that's how they treat it. And so a lot of these kids that come out of these narcissistic households, they don't know who the heck they are. They have served those parents and that person, that caretaker, whoever the hell it is, for so long, they don't truly know who they are. So as an adult, they need to spend some time really searching for themselves, soul searching. Who am I as a person? What do I like? What lights me up? What can I do all day and just lose track of time? That's where you need to chase it. But so if you have that brutal inner critic that punishes you for every imperfection and you avoid risk because failure feels catastrophic. So basically, it's not just a fear of making mistakes. You have a fear from what you believe mistakes prove about you. But that's not okay. And we need to be able to teach people, even children, to not internalize that critical parent. Or at least give them the toolbox to show them that internal voice and that internalization of that super critical parent, how to basically undo that. Which I can help you with that because I've done it myself and I've learned to release that. I used to be so hard on myself, guys. So hard on myself. You're not this, you're not this, you're not this, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't me. And I love myself for who I am. And I don't need to be anybody else but me. And I set that example for other people because I want other people to really, truly get that and to really understand that. Because you don't need to be so hard on yourself. Life is hard enough. Why are you going to be super critical of yourself? Because in the end, it just makes everything harder. And you're putting out that energy and giving it towards yourself. You deserve a heck of a lot better than that. And you deserve, if you grew up in a narcissistic household, you deserved a heck of a lot better than what you experienced and the treatment that you did experience. And so please check out my podcast and my blog post, thekellyhealingproject.com. You can also follow, like I said, Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, as well as oh my gosh, it's escaping. The name is escaping me now. Whatever. Just the Kelly Healing Project is the name of it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, guys, and love yourself, please. Love yourself.